I don't think you necessarily have to love the game specifically. I don't care if a player coming in is sitting down and watching Thursday night football instead of White Lotus or, whatever they want to watch. I don't care. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if they're studying the whole league and looking up stats and they know the box scores inside and out. But if you don't love that piece of it, you have to love the process. You have to love something that leads you to success. We did the story with Alvin Kamara, and he talked about how he didn't watch football and he likes to get away from the game for a while in the off season. But when April,
Right.
May hits, this man is just so obsessed with self improvement. And for Alvin, I don't know if it mattered what the output source was, whether it be fashion, whether it be businessman, whether it be driving a NASCAR, whatever he wanted to do. I think that he would have ended up at the top of his craft because he is so obsessed with the process and just finding something to improve upon. And for him, it happened to be football. And he puts in all the work. He's going to put in all the work
Right.
and the output, whatever it was, like I said. So I think you just have to have something like that inside of you. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Kellen Moore. I've watched football every day of my life since I was 3 years old and was grown to be a coach, and I still love the game. And I'm looking at Twitter clips all the time. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but you have to be in love or obsessed with something that's going to lead to some type of success. And that's just if you're looking at a guy like a T-Mac, and you just have to know that there's something there that can lead you to it. And it's a matter of finding it. I think. I mean, look, loving the game itself is the easiest way to. I love this game. I obsess with this game. Everything I do is about this game. I had football sheets. I had, the pencils, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cool. Like that's the easiest way to guarantee success. But I think there's multiple ways to get there. And again, I'm okay with it. I'm okay if someone wants to get away with it. Look, we work in football. Most of the time I am watching a Thursday night game, but every now and then it's like, man, I'm gonna go to AMC and catch the Thursday night movie release and take a break from this it's okay. Like that's okay to have that. But
Yeah.
as long as you are obsessive about something, yeah, find it. So, that's the job of the scouts. That's a big part of what they do. A big part of what they do is basically what we do. It's the same exact thing. It's having sources and reporting and finding out what people are about. So they just need to make sure there is something that burns inside of whoever they're drafting. And they've missed at times. Davenport, I feel like was someone that was a little bit of a miss on that character aspect of it. And you just got to make sure that's there, that they're in love with something that's going to lead to success. Sorry
Yeah.
for the long rant.
Oh no, you're good, man. Because that's you cooking, and that'll lead us into this next topic about what else did we learn from the owners meetings. Kellen Moore, he talked about seeing Jeff Ireland and the scouting staff through their entire process. He called Jeff Ireland a rock star. So, kind of, what do you take from those comments in this process right now of going out, eating dinner with these guys, looking at these guys during their pro days and their private workouts and all of that type of stuff?
Yeah, it's interesting that they do it like this. Like Sean Payton used to do it like that too. He'd try to get everybody together for dinners and bring them together and get guys talking to each other. I remember one time we left the LSU pro day and we're sitting there and they just like all come walking in, like the Saints staff and all the LSU players come walking to the back room at that walk-ons right there, right next to the stadium. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, like let me get my tweet off real quick. The Saints are meeting with so and so. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah. But that's how they do it, and they like to talk to them and get them in a more natural situation. And I think any of us can relate to the thought process behind that. You bring someone in for a job interview, which is basically what it is. They're rehearsed. They're thinking about everything they said. They've read a list of possible questions and have their answers ready. And you go through it, and it's not necessarily natural. And then you hire a guy, and you find out he makes like weird noises and stuff. And maybe if you put them together in a group,
Yeah.
they might you just see it. You see the personality. You see the real
Right.
person in a group when they're with their friends amongst their peers and all that stuff. So I think that is kind of the best way to get to know somebody for sure. So it's interesting that they're doing it. You can cover a lot of ground that way too. You get 4 or 5 guys together and you're meeting with 5 people. Maybe you find out something about someone that, oh, they're going to be at the pro day. Let's just bring them in. plays receiver too. Let's bring him in. Oh, wait, I really like the way this guy thinks. And maybe they say something. Maybe they show you something that makes you want to take a chance on him at some point. So yeah, I think it's smart. I think it's it's an interesting process. It feels really thorough right now. It feels like they're being really, really thorough. And I'm sure they always are, but it feels incredibly thorough right now.
Yeah, and it even gives a chance for you to see into the future a little bit. Like you got a chance to see how Garrett Nussmeier throws in a pro day type setting. You know what I mean? Even though
Yep.
he's not a right now player, you get to see it. So it's a lot you can learn, man. It's a lot you can learn through that entire season. But I never thought about it in that way of, yeah, let's bring him and his friends who he's been around. Well, with the transfer portal now, it might just be a season in, and
Three
let's
months.
see, yeah, and let's see how they act around each other. I think that that's a great point.